Alright, welcome to the video today. It's Veterans Day, so I had the day off. I was kind of hoping I could get in some extra study today because I had the day off, but not only won't I be able to do extra, it looks like I probably won't even be able to do as much as I usually do. I'm planning to go and do something today at 8. But I guess I'm feeling okay, so that's probably why I'm not as concerned about it. So let's see here. Okay, so let's try to get through some more cards. We can delete cards, we can add cards. We'll check the curriculum very closely as we did last time, and if there's no place on the curriculum I could imagine the card going, I'll just delete the card. And again, these are just notes that a former coworker was kind enough to share with me, and they were for the JPR-960 version of the exam, and they were just personal notes. So, okay, so BFD, bidirectional forwarding detection. So I believe the card here calls for that under a static route. But I think there is good help for this. Yeah, so there's BFD for all sorts of things. I wish I could get just like a regular old, a more like generic help. Okay, yeah, here we go. So here's a more generic explanation of BFD. Now BFD is going to be on the test, I believe. I think it's under, I thought it was on here. I thought it was on here. I don't see it though. That's interesting. That's really surprising to me because I thought it was on here. So okay, so maybe it's not on there. I guess it could be under this, or it could be under routing policy or something. But it almost looks as if it's not going to show up on there. But the bidirectional forwarding detection protocol is a simple hello mechanism that detects failures in a network. BFD works with a wide variety of network environments and topologies. A pair of routing devices exchange BFD packets. Hello packets are sent at a specified regular interval. A neighbor failure is detected when the routing device stops receiving a reply after a specified interval. The BFD failure detection timers have shorter time limits than the static route failure detection mechanisms, so they provide faster detection. So that's what BFD is in a nutshell. Sometimes the built-in failure detection in a feature on the device is too long, so you can use BFD to have a shorter failure detection if you need it. So okay, so let's look at the answer. That's right, it's under static route. So I'm going to mark this one as very good. Because one, it didn't show up on the curriculum, and two, I feel pretty good with it. And there's appears to be good help, at least in version 17 there's good help. Okay, so now it's just a matter of toggling the appropriate knobs, reading the question very carefully. Okay, so I'm going to mark this one as easy. Alright, next one we've got interface options. So I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. We can see we do have, if I go into an interface, I do set gig ether options. We do have all kinds of options here, so not sure what they mean specifically. Okay, it looks like they're talking about some kind of load balancing. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is about. I'll mark this one as easy because I also think this won't show up on the exam, and it's not. Yeah, so. And I don't think this counts as a interface option because it looks like more of a PFE, packet forwarding engine policy for load balancing. It doesn't look like an interface option to me. So let's just type it out once quick, and then I will be marking it as done, as easy. Oh, marking it easy. Yeah, so even the code here, or sorry, the configuration here looks kind of strange because this is not the name, so it looks like yeah, so I don't know where this would be applied because it looks like we've got a policy option here that is defined, but is never applied anywhere. So I'm guessing it would be applied here. There'd be like a exports or something, forwarding options. And then load balance is a forwarding option. It's not the name of like the policy we just defined. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not sure what is meant there. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm pretty confused by that. So let's just hit easy. Okay, here's BFD options, bidirectional forwarding detection. So yep, it's going to be under static route, but you can apply it to anything. It's just if you need faster failover. Okay, so this one I'm going to mark easy as well after I type it out one more time. Okay, yeah, this is where they didn't have a threshold, so I'm not sure what that's all about, but again, this is just toggling knobs and reading the question carefully. That's how I get points when I'm in this deep. Yeah, and of course I gotta know what a hold down interval is, what a detection time interval is, all that, but I'm hoping they'll be clear about that. Okay, so it didn't pass the commit check, but I'm still gonna set it as easy. Alright, next one is infrastructure syslog. So we can do edit syslog. Edit system. Yeah, so now we've got all these options. We can send it to a remote. We can send it to the council. We can change the format we want. We can make sure that it only alerts a particular user. So this one, I think I'm gonna hit easy on this one. After I just get it under my fingers. Oh, and here's where it's a little bit strange, because you have to set the you have to say any after a lot of these commands. Okay, but we're into knob toggling, so pretty comfortable with just plain knob toggling. So I'm even going to say this is easy. Alright, I'll take a quick break. I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. Let's keep doing these cards. So yep, enabling LLDP. Know how to do that, but it's not like super, like I haven't really done it much because LLDP doesn't work in the lab. So let's just make sure that my instincts won't fail me here. My first instinct when I don't exactly recognize something is to do a help apropos. So here we go. We get an example. We just go edit protocols, LLDP, and then we can toggle as many knobs as we want. We can do a particular interface. We can change the frequency of the messages. We can change yeah, it looks like that's pretty much it. So this is another, read the question carefully. I'm sure they won't require particular knobs or whatever, what have you. Oops, so this is LDP, not LLDP. It's a different thing. Okay, so yep, that's as easy as that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in my lab though. Let's see what the card says, but this is definitely going to be marked easy. Oh, yeah, so it's just as simple as that. And then I know, of course, the trick where if you want it on a bunch of interfaces, but you don't want it on a few interfaces, it's easier to add it to all and then disable the ones you don't want it on than it is to only enable it on the ones you want it. So, yep, and then you can say what kind of information you want to send. So, protocols, LDP, port ID subtype. So you can choose between interface name or the SNMP index, which can be useful if you're using SNMP. Alright, so that's definitely an easy one. Aha! So here's my old friend, control plane policing. I know how to do this now. So it's going to be edit firewall, and then you're going to have two things. We're going to have a filter and we're going to have a policer. So this gets applied to the loopback because that's where all the control traffic targeted to this device is going to be accepted. So it's going to be applied as a family INET filter. And of course the direction needs to be defined. Okay, so now we're going to edit firewall filter. Policy. Okay, and then of course we just toggle a bunch of knobs. Oops, we gotta have a term. So, oh yeah, we're gonna have multiple terms here. We're gonna have terms depending on the kinds of traffic we want to limit. So, one thing you can do is have a term for critical traffic. You have a term for normal traffic, that sort of thing. Okay, and now that we've got the term, yep, we define all of our froms, and we can make any sorts of matchings. You know, read the question carefully, toggle knob, applies here. You can, yeah, so hopefully that won't be too difficult. And then the thing is, you set the then. So instead of accepting or rejecting, you're going to send it to a policer. And we'll give the policer the same name we gave to the firewall filter. But then, of course, we're going to have to go and define the policer. So edit firewall, policer, critical. And then we're going to do set. Yep, and now the same thing, toggle the knobs. So you set the knob you want to match on, if it exceeds a bandwidth limit, anything like that. Okay, so yep, that's it. Let's do a commit check on that, and then we'll do a rollback. We'll go ahead and look at the answer, type it all out. It's going to take a bit while, but that'll really, I think, cement it. And then we'll mark this as the easiest as possible. So we've got, looks like the easiest one is 4 days. So yeah, we'll mark it. I'm kind of tempted to do the 3 days one actually. Yeah, let's just mark it as the 3 days one. Okay, so yep, we'll just do what's here. Okay, so I'm going to hit good on this instead of easy. I want to see it a little bit more frequently than 4 days from now. I'm checking my plants here. I've got an arrow grow now, so I'm going to have fresh basil in a few days. Alright, so I don't know what PIR. Oh, you know what? This is probably QoS, class of service, quality of service. And the PIR is like the policing rates. Oh, you know what? It's protocol independent routing is what it is. Okay, I don't know what the defaults are. It looks like I don't have the option to set any defaults. Oh yeah, here's another one where I don't have the routing options, so the card kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me here. We've got classic commands like show route, exact detail, show route hidden. Looks like we've got rib groups. I think I could probably use some more practice with rib groups. So rollback 0. Oh, I see. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, so I guess I'm okay with this one. A lot of this card didn't work. I mean, this is my practice for rib groups, which I do think I need some more practice with. So I think I'll mark that. I'm conflicted between either a good or an easy on this one. I think I'm going to go with easy. Okay, so the next one is authentication. Yeah, so this is nice and easy. Okay. Yeah, this one's super easy. I kind of want to do a 7-day on there because this authentication order, I might get confused where that's nested under. It's nested under system, so I might want to see that. And actually, to be very clear, the test is on the 18th. So if anything's 5 days or more out, I'm either going to see it right before I take the test, or I'm just not going to see it at all. So I do need to be very conscious about when I say I want to see these cards again, because I might end up not seeing them again, even though I had expected to. Okay, this we'll do an easy on as well, and just skip that one. Here's SNMP. I'm feeling pretty good about SNMP as well. We'll do an easy on that one. Yeah, I don't know what RPF check is. We'll do easy. Graceful restart. Yeah, I remember this. Let's do an easy on that. Okay, so we're down to OSPF now. OSPF I feel really confident in. I've done all sorts of stuff with that, so this is an easy. V-line normalization might be a little bit tricky, but let's do a good on this one. Let's type this out and let's do a good. Yeah. 20 and then set. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty good. It's just a matter of knowing when you gotta pop, when you've gotta swap, when you've gotta push. That's what gets tricky. It's just because every action that's taken, you know, propagates out throughout. So you've really got to have a good sense of what's happening at every step of the way. That's why it's gets so complicated, even though it's really just a matter of popping, swapping, or pushing. Alright, so let's do a good on that one. Area types. Yeah, this one looks pretty good too. Sub area, I'm pretty confident with all that sort of stuff. So let's do an easy on that. Let's just try to find stuff that I'm really not comfortable with at all, and mark those as agains, so that I'm just drilling the stuff I'm really not comfortable with before the exam. Oh yeah, so this is like login class, that stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling good with that, so we'll do an easy on that. ABR summarization, I could probably use some practice on that one. Okay, so I guess I'm good on that. Let's hit the easy. Yeah, this will hit the easy on as well. Actually, no. Let's hit a. Well, before we hit the easy button, let's type it out one last time. Okay, so there we go. So that, yep, we'll hit the good button on that. Even though the good button, we won't see it. Okay, so OSPF authentication. Okay, well, oh yeah, this isn't too bad. This is so it does get a little bit tricky for OSPF version 3, because OSPF version 3 doesn't have built-in authentication, not especially the way that OSPF version 2 has it. What you can do with OSPF version 3 authentication, however, is use a different protocol, use the IPsec protocol to have authentication, and then you can bring that into OSPF version 3. So it's all lined out pretty well, I think, in Help Apropos. Thought it was. Here we go. So, yep, so OSPF 3 authentication, perfect. Oh, I see, because I matched on V3 instead of just 3. So yeah, so if you're using OSPF 3, you can configure. Oh, so this is authentication for BFD. Yeah, I thought that was just regular. Yeah, IPsec authentication. Yeah, IPsec-SA. Okay, well, let me think here. So, the reason I'm thinking is because I thought there would be kind of clearer instructions here than there are. Yeah, so it's going to be under IP security sec, and then you can define a policy. Yeah, and now you can have yeah, and then you can do set protocols OSPF 0 interface 000.0. Yep, IPsec-SA IPsec. Oops, but this is good. I mean, once you get this these error messages, you know, they tell you what to do basically. So if I can get an error message, that's not a bad thing. Okay, so let's hit a good on this. Okay, now here this is multi-area link. Yep, so this is definitely an easy button. Redistribution, that's an easy button too, but let's type it out before going on. Okay, so you can have either a type 1 or a type 2 metric. I kind of forget the difference between the two. I probably need to know that. It's probably even in the actual curriculum. No, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything about that. Oh, MTU issues are definitely going to be on there. Alright, so yeah, let's just make it a type 1. Set then accept top exports. Yep. External preference, let's set that to 2. Alright, so commit check succeeds, feeling pretty good with that. Yeah, just any redistribution is just a matter of making policy options, policy statements, and then you do your from, you do your then. A lot of things in Juniper are done that way. But the thing is, there's policies, there's police, there's firewalls. It's just a matter of knowing what thing you need to configure. Whether it's policy option, police, or a firewall, or what have you, and then what you need to match and what you need to do after you've matched it. So that's kind of where the difficulty lies. Is you might think, oh, I got to make a policer. I know what to do. I need to go into policy options and make a policy statement that says my policer, and then do it from there. Well, you'd be wrong. You've got to do that under firewall policer. So So you've got to know where things belong, which is kind of a, like, I don't know, like, because another way you could design the CLI is so that you go under one giant sub-hierarchy for everything, and then from there you say whether it's a police or a firewall or a firewall filter or a redistribution policy. Alright, so let's click the easy button. OSPF engineering. So for OSPF engineering, it looks like, so yeah, this is an important command, otherwise it'll make its shortest path first calculations based on legacy link speeds. Your network is probably going to have more modern link speeds, so it's better to set to the reference bandwidth so that it can make those calculations a lot better. And then, so you can set the metric of particular interfaces to influence that shortest path first calculation however you want. OSPF overload, if I remember that correctly, that's to set send a static route. Let's take a look at that. Oops, so I clicked a button and the button, or I started typing and a lot of things happened. Okay, here we go. So we still got, okay, so, all right, yeah, let me check the overload button. Okay, so I don't know what this REPEL transit traffic, I don't know what that means. Alright, I'm back. Oh, that's weird. I haven't really been on my feet for a long time, Just kind of hunkered down. Let's see here, so... Oh my god. Oh, okay, so that makes it appear to be overloaded. Oh, okay, so this is if you want it to participate in OSPF routing, but you do not want it to be used for transit traffic. So basically you can say everyone should learn about this route, but you shouldn't be able to select this route as your best path. I think that's what that means. I'm actually wanting to do a Google search. Alright, so yeah, well, I mean, it says it right here. If you want the topology to participate in OSPF routing, but you do not want it to be used for transit traffic. Oh, I just got hit with a wall of tiredness out of nowhere. Where did this come from? Okay, so yep, here's our redistribution process. I'm really comfortable with that. Oh, we got virtual links. I'm pretty comfortable with that as well. So yeah, let's do an easy button on this. Database control. Oh no, it might ask for this. I guess here's one that I want to. Well, I would think that they would give really clear instructions if this were on there. So it's a matter of just reading the question carefully and toggling the appropriate knobs. I'll be back shortly. All right, so it looks like I'm back. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do about this one. I'm definitely going to get it under my fingers. Of course, I'm very familiar with the traffic engineering command. I did a whole, most of the videos I've done have required that command, and I did a whole video where I had a problem, and the problem turned out to be that I was missing that command. So I'm really familiar with what I'm going to see in my command output, especially for show MPLS LSP detail if I'm missing this traffic engineering command. Okay, so commit check succeeds. Yeah, I'm really familiar with this. One thing I would like to do though is make sure that those commands don't escape me. So one command is show MPLS LSP show MPLS LSP detail. That's a really good one to see whether or not OSPF traffic engineering has been enabled. There'll be no route to host showing up if it's not on there for one of your routers. Another good command is show RSVP session detail. And then a final really good command is show TED database. Those three commands are really helpful to help determine if one of the routers in the topology is missing this command, assuming you're running OSPF. If you're running ISIS, this is enabled by default, essentially, the version of it for ISIS. Okay, so I guess I'm comfortable hitting the easy button on this. Next is OSPF authentication, which can be a little bit tricky because you do need IPsec. So let's go ahead and type that out. So for version 2, it's really nice and easy. You just, it's baked into version 2, so you don't need anything fancy with IPsec. You just say authentication, and then the type MD50 clouds. But when you want to apply it to version 3, and you can also do this for version 2, but it's mandatory for version 3, you'll have to edit a IPsec security association. There you go. Protect OSPF. mode. So we've got modes here, transport or tunnel mode. We're going to go with transport mode. Manual direction. Bidirectional. Oh yeah, so we can choose different kinds of, yeah, because this basically encaps or encrypts the packet essentially. Like the packet will look differently in the Wireshark capture once this is enabled. Okay, 256, perfect. Yep, HMAC, G2, perfect. Alright, that looks good to me. Oh, I see. Okay, so next is the key. Oops. So my key was too short. It's got to be longer than that. But otherwise, everything seems fine. So let's hit a good on this to see it again tomorrow. I'm pretty comfortable with it, I guess. Like I think the question mark could do me a lot of good because I see the IPsec SA. So if I put a question mark after IPsec, I can see Security Association. Hopefully, make the connection that it stands for SA. So I'm definitely not going to hit the easy button on that, but I think the good button will be fine. Alright, I'm back. Time for the next card. This looks like OSPF troubleshooting, so maybe just some... so just setting up trace route options. I'm more than familiar with that. We also got show OSPF statistics, anything I can figure out with a question mark, so this is definitely the easy. ISIS. Yep, I'm pretty confident with ISIS. I guess the only thing I'm a bit unclear about still is the ignore attached bit. Pretty sure that's gonna come up, so still help. Oh, type match help match ISIS. Type match bit. Yeah. So here we get a help reference on it. So we can ignore the attached bit. Let's see here. So this is kind of interesting that help reference has a good explanation. I always thought that help reference was basically just like an extended question mark. It didn't actually have a description of the command, but boy was I wrong. But ignore attached bit is to ignore the attached bit on ISIS level 1 routers. Configuring this statement enables the routing device to ignore the attached bit on incoming level 1 link state PDUs. If the attached bit is ignored, no default route, which points to the routing device which has set the attached bit, is installed. There might be times, such as during a denial of service DOS attack, that you do not want a level 1 router to be able to forward traffic based on a default route. To prevent a routing device from being able to reach inter-area destinations, you can prevent the routing device from installing the default route without affecting the status of its ISIS adjacencies. The ignore attached bit statement is used to tell the routing device to ignore the presence of the attached bit in level 1 link state PDUs, which blocks the installation of the ISIS default route. All right. And then there's also wide metrics only. Yeah. So let's look at the reference for that since it was so helpful for the other one. Okay, so configure ISIS to generate metric values greater than 63 on a per ISIS level basis. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to need to enable that. So let's see what other commands I might not be familiar with. Okay, so yeah, you can just configure how long, wait until it sends out updates, ISIS overload, timeout, interface. I guess mesh group I'm not super familiar with. Yeah, so let's look up mesh group. Mesh. To configure an interface to be part of a mesh group, which is a set of fully connected nodes. A mesh group is a set of routing devices that are fully connected. That is, they have a fully meshed topology. When link state PDUs are being flooded throughout an area, each router within a mesh group receives only a single copy of a link state PDU instead of receiving one copy from each neighbor, thus minimizing the overhead associated with the flooding of link state PDUs. To create a mesh group and designate that an interface be part of the group, assign a mesh group number to all the routing device interfaces in the group. To prevent an interface in the mesh group from flooding link state PDUs, configure blocking on that interface. Okay. Oh man. Oh, I got hit with a. I was planning to go out and do something tonight too, and I just got hit with a wall of tires. Okay, but I'm going to try to do 5 more minutes on this. I guess, I'm comfortable enough with ISIS. Unfortunately, I have been favoring OSPF. Let's read about point-to-point. I think it just, whether or not you... Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's really good built-in help for this, at least in my version that I'm running. Configure an ISIS interface to behave like a point-to-point connection. You can use the point-to-point statement to configure a LAN interface to act like a point-to-point interface for ISIS. You do not need an unnumbered LAN interface, and it has no effect if configured on an interface that is already point-to-point. The point-to-point statement affects only ISIS protocol procedures on that interface. All other protocols continue to treat the interface as a LAN interface. Only 2 ISIS routing devices can be connected to the LAN interface, and both must be configured as point-to-point. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'm pretty comfortable with all this. So let's hit the easy button on this. Global authentication. Yeah, that looks good. We'll do a easy button on that. Policies, yeah, just like any other policy, we'll do an easy button. Summary. Yeah, let's do an easy button on that too. I don't know if I'm just being lazy or if I'm really that confident. Yeah, so from level 2 to level 1, it's a policy option. Okay, so I hit the easy button on all kinds of things. I think that's fine. But that's the end of the cards. I guess I could pull in some more. I'm just curious how many cards there are. So it looks like in total, let's see here. Oh, so there's 134 cards in total. That's a lot of cards. So I'm definitely not going to get through all of them. I only got through 20 of them tonight. So I can definitely be skipping through more cards really fast, and then anything that I'm like, oh no, I have no idea what this is, and then I see, oh no, it's in. Not only do I not know what this is, I see it in the curriculum right there. It's completely unfamiliar to me. I hit again on that, and then I just drill that before the exam. So like remotely triggered black holes, I feel like I need a lot more familiarity with, and like BGP, like matching on autonomous system numbers, that could get me. So let's do that. We're gonna hit the options here, and we're gonna change it to new cards per day. Let's double that to 40, and then so yeah, we'll just double that to 40, and that gives me 20 more to do right now. But unfortunately, I want to cap this at an hour. Got hit with wall tires and stuff, so an hour is kind of an accomplishment for me anyway. So that's going to be the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.